Let me begin with this. If you don't take yourself seriously, why should anybody else? You've got goals, dreams, ideas. But here's the catch. The world doesn't believe what you say. The world believes what you do. And what you do begins with how you see yourself. It starts with you, your self-respect, your habits, your discipline, your standards. There was a time in my life when I was going nowhere. I had pennies in my pocket, no plan, no power, and no one came to rescue me. You see, life doesn't send you a wake-up call. It sends you circumstances, hard ones. And the question becomes, will you finally decide to take yourself seriously, or will you let life push you around? Now, let me tell you something important. Success is not a mystery. It's a formula. It's not about being the smartest. It's about being the most committed. And that starts when you say, I'm no longer okay with average. That's the moment the tide begins to turn. Disgust is one of the great motivators. That's right. When you finally get disgusted with your own excuses, your own laziness, your own waiting, that's when life starts to shift. If you treat yourself like an amateur, life will treat you like one. But if you treat yourself like a professional, with discipline, integrity, and focus, life will reward you as one. Let me give you a question to write down. What do I tolerate in myself that I would never accept from someone I admire? Think about that. You admire people who are on time, committed, hardworking, principled. But do you allow yourself to be lazy? To waste time? To lie to yourself? We must all suffer one of two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And discipline begins with one decision, to take your future seriously. Most people treat their lives like leftovers. They don't plan it. They don't build it. They react to it. That was me at 25. Then I met a mentor who said, Jim, if you don't take yourself seriously, the world never will. That hit me hard because deep down I knew he was right. I was wasting time, watching too much television, complaining, blaming, blaming, hoping for luck, but never preparing for success. That day I made a promise to treat my life like the most important business I'd ever run, to become the project. Because here's the truth, my friend. You are the project. Your mind, your body, your time, your attitude, your money, your relationships. Every part of your life is a business. If it's run well, it thrives. If it's run poorly, it crumbles. And nobody's coming to run it for you. It's not about the world. It's about you. A lot of people are out there trying to fix the world. But let me give you something better. Fix yourself. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. That quote changed me because I realized the game doesn't change. You have to change. You can't control the economy. You can't control the weather. You can't control people. But you can control how seriously you take your dreams. You can control how disciplined you are. You can control how early you wake up. You can control how much you read, how you think, how you speak, what you allow, and what you no longer tolerate. So let me ask you today, when are you going to take yourself seriously? Not just wish, not just hope, not just one day, but now, today. Because the longer you wait to take yourself seriously, the longer the world will wait to take you seriously. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. And those disciplines begin when you decide, I'm worth it. Let me tell you something. Regret weighs tons. Discipline weighs ounces. And the pain of regret, it sticks. It lingers. It keeps you up at night, whispering, you could have done more. If you don't take your life seriously now, you may spend the rest of it looking back, not with pride, but with sorrow. Time is a funny thing. It doesn't knock. It doesn't ask permission. And it doesn't wait for you to be ready. You see, the clock doesn't care if you're tired. The clock doesn't care if you're scared. The clock just keeps ticking. And one day, you'll look in the mirror, and the face staring back at you will ask, why didn't you start when you knew you should? That's regret. And it's brutal. There are windows in life. Moments when everything aligns. When your heart is open. Your mind is awake and your spirit is willing. But if you don't act during that window, it closes. And most people, they wait for the perfect time. But here's the truth. Perfect never comes. You'll never be completely ready. You'll never have all the answers. But you do have right now. And right now is enough to start. The myth of someday. You ever hear people say this? Someday, I'll start saving money. Someday I'll get in shape. Someday I'll work on that business idea. Someday I'll change my life. Well, let me give you some tough love. Someday is not on the calendar. There's no Monday called someday. Number 2, 5th month. No magic hour where the fear vanishes and the motivation appears. You either take action or you take regret. That's the deal. Now don't confuse serious with intense. I'm not talking about running around like your hair's on fire. I'm talking about quiet conviction. A man or woman who's serious doesn't have to shout. They don't need to convince anyone. You can see it in how they walk, how they speak, how they show up. Motivation gets you going. Discipline keeps you growing. When you're serious, you keep showing up even when nobody's clapping, even when it's boring, even when it's hard. You honor your word, even to yourself. That's seriousness. Now here's what happens if you don't get serious. You keep drifting. You keep talking instead of doing. You keep watching other people succeed and telling yourself, I could have done that. And someday you wake up and you're 40 or 60 or 80 and you realize you were waiting for something that was never coming. Let me say it plain. The cost of not getting serious is the life you never got to live. But here's the beauty. You can decide today. Not next week. Not next year. Now, decide that your dreams matter. That your future matters. That you matter. Seriousness is a decision, not a mood. Not a personality trait. Not something reserved for the rich, the famous, or the lucky. It's available to anyone who wants it bad enough. The day you make a decision, everything changes. That's how I turned my life around. Not with magic. Not with a mentor doing the work for me. But with a decision. Last chance or first step. So let me ask you, will you treat today like just another day? Or will you treat it like the first step of your comeback? Because it's one or the other. Every day, you delay your seriousness, you sign up for a little more regret. But every day you commit even a little, you plant seeds of a future you'll be proud of. And let me tell you, when the harvest comes, it's worth it. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they've got planned for you? Not much. You either build your dream or you get hired to build someone else's. The time is now to get serious, to commit, to look in the mirror and say, this life is mine and I'm not going to waste it, because the only thing heavier than discipline is the regret of knowing you didn't try. Let me ask you something that changed my life. What are you doing with your time? Because time, that's life in motion. You don't spend time, you trade your life for it. So the real question is, are you trading your life for something worthwhile? Every minute, every hour, every day, it all sends a message to yourself, to your future, to the world. And that message is either, I take my life seriously, or I'm letting it slip away. Money lost can be earned again. But time, once it's gone, it's gone. Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. That quote became a guiding light for me. Because when I was broke, and I mean really broke, I realized something strange. I didn't treat my time with respect. I gave it away to distractions, cheap entertainment, and empty conversations. Then I'd say, I don't have time to change my life. But the truth is, I wasn't out of time. I was out of focus. There was a morning, I remember it well, when I sat down with a blank notebook. I wrote across the top, where's my time going? And the answers were painful. Too much time talking about problems. Too little time working on solutions. Too much time worrying. Too little time planning. Too much time reacting. Too little time creating. That day, I decided to treat time like currency. And I promised myself, I will no longer spend time on anything that doesn't take me somewhere meaningful. That was the beginning of a new life. Now don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying you need to fill every second with noise. Serious people don't stay busy, they stay intentional. There's a difference. One of the best habits I ever formed, planning my day before the day begins. That's simple. Don't start your day until you have it finished. If you don't design your day, guess what happens? Someone else will. Your phone will. Your friends will. Distractions will. And you'll look up 5 hours later and wonder where your energy went. You can lie with your words, but you can't lie with your calendar. Open it up. Look at last week. What did your time go toward? Dreams? Growth? Learning? Building? Serving? Or did you scroll? Complain? Compare? Delay? Because every minute is a message. And if the message is, I don't take this seriously, then don't be surprised when life reflects that back to you. We say we value family, but do we spend time with them? We say we want health, but do we invest time in exercise? We say we want success, but do we sacrifice distractions to make space for progress? Let me give you something tough. Your time doesn't lie. You might say one thing, but your calendar reveals the truth. If it's not on your schedule, it's not in your life. Time is expensive. You're paying with it right now. So stop trading it for things that don't feed your future. Every wasted hour today becomes a regret tomorrow. And here's the reality. You don't know how much time you have left. So how long will you keep treating it like it's endless? Serious people don't just kill time. They build with it. They guard it. They invest it in learning, in creating, in loving, in becoming. If someone looked at how you spend your time, would they say you're serious about your future? Because time, it's talking, and it's telling everyone what you really value. Either you run the day, or the day runs you. Your habits are your calendar. Your discipline is your clock. Your results are just the echo of how you spent your minutes. So start using time with intention. Schedule your growth. Prioritize your purpose. Say no to anything that wastes your future. You don't need more time. You need to take your time more seriously because your life is made of it. Let me say something that might sting a little. You're not stuck. You're just waiting. Waiting for what? Waiting for approval. Waiting for the right moment. Waiting for someone to say, you're ready. But here's the truth. No one is coming to give you permission. If you're waiting for the world to validate your dreams, you'll be waiting your whole life. You know who's holding you back? You. It's not your boss. It's not your background. It's not the economy. It's not your parents, your spouse, or your education. It's the voice in your head that keeps saying, not yet. You're not good enough. You need more time, more approval, more security. But the problem isn't a lack of opportunity. It's a lack of permission from yourself. Don't join an easy crowd. You won't grow. Go where the expectations are high. You see, when you start raising your expectations, you don't wait around for people to tell you you're ready. You decide you're ready. Most people are parked at a red light that doesn't exist, waiting for some green light to say, go. Let me be the one to tell you. The light is green. It's been green. You just have to move. Take the first step. Speak up. Show up. Start building. You already know what to do. You're just afraid to do it without applause. But let me tell you, the world applauds after the work is done, not before. I remember being 25 years old. I had ambition, ideas, big dreams, but I didn't move. Why? Because I was waiting for someone to tell me I could. Waiting for someone to hand me confidence. Waiting for someone to believe in me. Then I met a mentor who said, Jim, if you don't believe in yourself, why should anyone else? That hit me like a truck because I realized I had become my own obstacle. You don't need to be confident to start. You need to be committed. Confidence is built through doing, not waiting, not wishing, You don't become confident by reading more books or watching more videos or listening to more podcasts. You become confident when you say, I don't need permission to grow. If you want to be powerful, educate yourself. If you want to be respected, discipline yourself. If you want to be free, trust yourself. The key is self-trust. You don't wait until the fear is gone. You move through it. That's what serious people do. You've heard the phrase, opportunity knocks. Let me fix that. Opportunity doesn't knock, you knock. You knock on doors. You knock on habits. You knock on your future. You don't sit at home waiting for someone to give you a chance. You create your own. Because no one's going to call you up and say, hey, today's your big day. Time to change your life. That job's taken by you. Here's the dangerous thing about waiting. The longer you wait, the easier it gets to keep waiting. Procrastination becomes comfort. Inaction becomes identity. And pretty soon you forget what it feels like to be hungry for change. But serious people, they don't wait for permission. They give themselves assignments. They say, I've waited long enough. It's time to move. Listen, this is your life, not your neighbors, not your friends, not your families, yours. If you keep asking for permission, you're telling the world, I don't trust myself. And the world mirrors back to you exactly what you believe. If you walk in with doubt, the world gives you more of it. But if you walk in with decision, with purpose, with quiet confidence, you'll be amazed how the world starts to respond. Let me ask you, who are you waiting for? Whose approval do you think you need? Because the truth is, you don't need it. The ultimate reason for setting goals is to entice you to become the person it takes to achieve them. You don't become that person by waiting. You become it by choosing to take the next step, choosing to stop asking for permission, choosing to believe that this life is yours to live. So stop waiting, start building, and remind yourself, you've had the green light all along. Let me tell you something that changed how I saw my life. You are an example to someone right now, whether you know it or not. The question is, are you a warning or an inspiration? Someone is watching how you carry yourself, how you show up, how you speak, how you treat your time, your money, your mind. And the message you send every day is either, this is what self-respect looks like, or this is what wasting potential looks like. Most people think they need a title to make a difference, but that's not true. You don't need followers. You don't need applause. You don't need to be on stage. You need to be consistent. That's what Leadership Island. You don't have to shout to be powerful. Just walk your talk. Let your habits speak. Let your integrity speak. Let your results speak. People don't follow words. They follow example. You'd be surprised who's paying attention. Your kids, your coworkers, your friends, strangers at the coffee shop. They see how you handle pressure. They notice when you're disciplined. They feel your presence when it's focused and your absence when it's distracted. You may not realize it, but your life is giving others permission to rise or permission to stay stuck. And the best way to lift people up is to rise yourself. Let me ask you, if someone lived exactly like you, same habits, same thinking, same energy, where would they end up in 5 years? Would they be proud or would they be frustrated? Because whether you like it or not, you're teaching people how to live. And the greatest lessons aren't taught in words. They're taught in how you show up. Success is something you attract by the person you become. That quote has always stayed with me because I realized if I want to attract respect, I have to become respectable. If I want opportunity, I have to become the kind of person who is ready when it knocks. Too many people are just existing, drifting, reacting, surviving. But you weren't built to survive. You were built to build. You were designed to create, to contribute, to lead. And the way you live tells the world whether you believe that or not. Live like your life matters, because it does. Live with energy, with urgency, with conviction, because when you take you seriously, others can't help but do the same. Let me tell you, one of the greatest reasons to live with purpose, so someone else doesn't have to struggle the way you did. Be the person you wish you had growing up. Be the example of discipline, the example of courage, the example of vision, kindness, work ethic, humility, hunger. You can become that for someone else. And guess what? You don't have to say a word. Your life will speak loud enough. What do you stand for? Because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. When you take yourself seriously, you start defining your values, what you will do, what you won't do, what you'll sacrifice for, what you'll walk away from. Character is the result of two things: mental attitude and the way we spend our time. You build that character in private. Then it shows up when life puts you on the spot. So live like it matters, because people are watching how you respond when no one else is clapping. So here we are. You've heard me talk about taking yourself seriously, but now it's time to live it. No more waiting. No more blaming. No more pretending you don't know what to do. You know. You've always known. And now, it's time to be the example. Let the way you live be the strongest argument you ever make. Let your consistency speak louder than your excuses. Let your growth inspire others to grow. Let your results become a blueprint for someone who's watching. Because in the end, the major value in life is not what you get. The major value in life is what you become. So become someone powerful, someone intentional, someone serious. Live like you mean it, and you'll never have to convince the world of your worth again. Let me close with this thought. Life is not a rehearsal. This is it, right now. And how you show up today, that sets the tone for your tomorrow. You see, people often ask me, Jim, how do I change my life? And I tell them, start by taking yourself seriously. Not someday. Not when the timing is perfect. Not when someone gives you permission. Now, because here's the truth. The world treats you the way you treat yourself. If you see yourself as average, you'll attract average. But if you carry yourself like someone with purpose, someone with discipline, someone with a vision, then doors will open. Your energy will change. Your habits will follow. And slowly, then suddenly, life gets better. So let me remind you, you don't need applause to start. You don't need agreement from others to grow. You just need to decide this is your life, and you're worth the investment. Discipline is the highest form of self-respect. Structure is freedom. And purpose is the compass that turns time into legacy. Don't drift. Don't delay. Don't discount your value, because your future is not something you step into. It's something you build day by day, brick by brick, decision by decision. So take yourself seriously. Learn, grow, show up with intention, speak with clarity, live with meaning, and above all, be the example of what's possible when a person finally decides to live their life on purpose. I'll leave you with this. If you will change, everything will change for you. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better, and go to work on yourself. This is the start of something new. You've got what it takes. Now prove it to yourself. Thank you.